Oxygen already on the PCH, a hell of a ride. They don't wanna see us make it, they just wanna divide. 2017, Bonnie and Clyde. Wanna see the point of living on if one of us die. Yeah, got that kind of style everybody try to rip off. YSL dress under when she take the mink off. Silk on her body, pull it down and watch it slip off. Ever catch me cheating, she would try to cut her. Take crazy, but I love her, I could never run from her. Heated, no rubber, never would, no one touch her. Swear we drive each other mad, she be so stubborn. But what the fuck is love with no
Wow. The sun was setting over the city of Seoul, casting a warm orange glow across the streets. I sat on a bench in the park, staring at my phone in disbelief. Tears threatened to spill from my eyes as I read the hurtful messages from my best friend, Taehyung. I can't believe you're so clingy and annoying, especially in front of my friends. It's embarrassing, his message read. It felt like a stab to my heart. Taehyung and I had been best friends since we were kids. We did everything together and shared all our deepest secrets. I never thought he would say something so hurtful, especially in front of our enemy, Jungkook. Jungkook and Taehyung had always been rivals. They constantly competed in everything: academics, sports, and even popularity. But I never let their rivalry affect our friendship. However, after today, I wasn't so sure. I wiped away the tears and took deep breaths, trying to calm myself down. I hated confrontation, and I didn't want to make a scene in public. But the pain and anger I felt were too much to ignore. I stood up from the bench and made my way out of the park, determined to confront Taehyung. As I walked, I remembered all the times we had spent together, laughing and having fun. The memories only made me more upset, knowing that our friendship might be over because of one hurtful comment. I arrived at Taehyung's apartment building and took the elevator to his floor. I knocked on his door, my heart racing with anticipation and nervousness. Taehyung opened the door, a cold expression on his face. "What do you want?" he asked, his tone harsh and unwelcoming. I took a deep breath, trying to steady my voice. "Can we talk?" I said, my voice trembling slightly. He let out a frustrated sigh. "Fine, come in," he said, stepping aside to let me in. I followed him into his apartment and sat down on his couch. He sat on the opposite end, not making eye contact with me. "Why did you say those things, Taehyung?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. "What things?" he replied, still not looking at me. "The messages, the one where you called me clingy and annoying. And in front of Jungkook no less," I said, my voice now filled with anger and hurt. Taehyung finally looked at me, his expression softening slightly. "I'm sorry, YN. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings," he said, a hint of regret in his voice. "Then why did you say it? Are you embarrassed to be seen with me now?" I asked, the tears threatening to fall again. "No, of course not. It's just that Jungkook was making fun of me for always hanging out with you. He said I was too dependent on you and that I couldn't do anything without you. I didn't want to give him the satisfaction, so I said those things," Taehyung explained, his voice full of guilt. I let out a sigh, understanding his reasoning, but still hurt by his words. "But why did you have to say those things in front of him? You know how much he dislikes me," I said, my voice cracking. "I'm sorry, YN. I should have never let his words get to me. You know that you're my best friend, and I would never want to hurt you," Taehyung said, reaching out to hold my hand. I pulled my hand away, not ready to forgive him just yet. "It's not just about what you said in front of Jungkook. It's about the fact that you didn't defend me. You let him say those things about me, I said, my voice laced with disappointment. Taehyung's jaw clenched, realizing his mistake. I'm sorry, YN. I was just so caught up in trying to prove him wrong. I didn't think about your feelings, he said, looking down in shame. We sat in silence for a while, both lost in our thoughts. I wanted to forgive Taehyung, but I couldn't just forget what he had said. It hurt too much. Can we please go back to how things were? Taehyung finally spoke, breaking the silence. I don't know, Taehyung. It's going to take some time for me to trust you again. I thought you had my back, but you're willing to believe what Jungkook says about me, I said, trying to control the tears threatening to fall. I know I messed up, but please don't give up on our friendship because of one mistake. I promise I'll make it up to you, Taehyung pleaded, his eyes searching mine for forgiveness. I took a deep breath, considering his words. I knew Taehyung was genuinely sorry, but I needed some time to process everything. I got up from the couch and headed to the door, not wanting to stay any longer. YN, please don't leave like this. Can't we at least talk about it? Taehyung said, getting up from his seat and grabbing my arm to stop me. I turned to face him, tears finally spilling from my eyes. I need some time, Taehyung. I can't just forget what you said and how you made me feel, I said, my voice breaking. He let out a defeated sigh, knowing there was nothing else he could say or do to make me stay. Fine, I'll give you some time. But just know that I'm sorry and I'll do whatever it takes to make it up to you, he said, his eyes pleading with me. I nodded, too tired to argue anymore. I walked out of his apartment, the tears streaming down my face as I realized that things might never be the same between Taehyung and me. Days turned into weeks, and I avoided Taehyung as much as I could. I couldn't face him, not after what he had said. I missed our friendship, but the pain and betrayal I felt were too much to handle. Taehyung tried to reach out, apologizing every chance he got. But I refused to listen, knowing that I couldn't forgive him so easily. Our group of friends noticed the tension between us, but I never told them what had happened. I didn't want to make things worse by involving others. One day, as I was walking home from school, I heard someone calling my name. I turned around to see Taehyung jogging towards me. YN, please listen to me. I can't take this anymore. I miss my best friend, he said, his eyes pleading with me to forgive him. I stayed silent, not knowing what to say. I missed him too, but I couldn't just let go of the pain he had caused. I promise I'll make it up to you. I'll do anything, just please give me another chance, Taehyung continued, his voice filled with desperation. I looked into his eyes, and I could see the sincerity in them. I knew he was truly sorry, and maybe it was time for me to forgive him. Okay, I finally said, my heart feeling lighter. Taehyung's face lit up with a smile, and he engulfed me in a hug. Thank you, YN. I promise I'll never let you down again, he said, pulling away and wiping away his own tears. We spent the rest of the day talking and catching up, like old times. I realized that I had missed my best friend more than I thought. Taehyung was the one who knew me better than anyone else, the one I could always count on. A few days later, we were all hanging out at the park, as we often did. Taehyung and I were sitting on the grass, talking and joking around like we used to. Jungkook and his friends walked by, and I braced myself for any snide comments. But to my surprise, Jungkook smiled at us and even said hello. I looked at Taehyung, confused, and he just smiled and winked at me, mouthing the words, "I got your back." I couldn't believe it. Taehyung had not only apologized to me, but he had also defended me in front of Jungkook. It was clear that he was serious about making things right with me. As we all walked home together, I realized that the incident had only brought Taehyung and me closer. I was grateful for his apology and for proving that our friendship was stronger than any rivalry. From then on, Taehyung and I were inseparable once again. We made sure to always have each other's backs, and our friendship only grew stronger. I learned that even the best of friends can make mistakes, but a true friendship can weather any storm. From that day on, I never let anyone come between our friendship. I knew that Taehyung would always have my back, just like I would have his. And I wouldn't have it any other way.